Hi, my name is Samira. I'm the co-founder and producer of The Creative Roots. So my journey with film started when I was in sixth form. I studied film studies at sixth form and loved it and felt really connected to moving image and just the way people connected to watching the films after they've been edited. Then went to university, went to sixth form, went to university and studied film studies again. So I kind of fell into producing because I was great at project managing and I really enjoyed organising and getting things done. So once I started that part of my journey, and I automatically started making short films, started making music videos at university, went into documentary making. I loved it. It was something that I enjoyed. But my path has not been as linear as I make it out to be. I had spent a number of years fighting the good fight of being a creative and trying to also find money to be a creative, because it's not easy. And it's not something that you can say that your mum or your dad in the Somali community will be like, yay, she's a lawyer, she's a whatever it may be. So I spent a lot of time really trying to balance being a professional as well as being a filmmaker. So alongside my film making and kind of connecting, I also spent a lot of time in the corporate sector. I worked for Apple for a number of years, as well as working for a branding and marketing agency as their account manager. So both film has always been this little side hustle as such that I enjoyed. It's always been my creative outlet, and making money has always been about, you know, doing something that's corporate based or something that my mum would be like, oh, she does this, you know, just to make her smile. And then I fell out of love with trying to do both, because I'm only one person and I've spent a lot of time trying to do both sides, and I have an amazing career where I can go in and actually do corporate strategy. I can spend a lot of time doing training and development. I can do brand strategy, and I've learned so much and such a skill set by doing all that corporate work that I can now apply it to my own company, which is where it leads me to now. So I now have a film production company called The Creative Roots with a co-founder called Alex. She has been with me for over a year, and we've spent a lot of time really building the brand quietly over the last couple of months, and really looking at what we would like to create and what films and media and what you like to watch, what people would like to watch. Growing up in a Somali household full of, so we've a massive family, and there's always, the house policy was doors always open to people coming in and out. So there was a lot of opinions also coming in and out, which meant that if you weren't in a role, as I said at the beginning, you know, which wasn't a lawyer, a doctor, you know, a pharmacist, something in health and social care, a social worker, any of the above, anything that's nothing to do with the creative space, then it was like, what are you doing? So when I announced that I was making films, my mum went, okay, it's a hobby, it will pass. And I was like, okay, sure. So she let me do it. My mum's very strict, a very strict family. And she was like, this is a hobby, it will pass. She's still doing everything else that we've agreed on doing, which was accounting and business. And I was like, okay, great, I can do this on the side. And it was really tough actually, because trying to get my mum to watch a film that I'd made, it was like, man, that's okay. And it's quite disheartening, because sometimes like my sister's like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, but I want it from my mum. Like, as much as my sisters and my brothers would be like, yeah, that's great. And I'm like, no, but I want my mum to say, that's fantastic, like that's amazing. And being a producer as a woman in the Somali community, it's tough in so many different forms, and you will come to realize that. But being a producer solely is being the person who gels the project together, who talks to the creatives, who talks to the client, who gets everything going, organises schedules, budgets. You are the face, you are the voice of the entire production. You are the person that people go to, you're the person that people will want to speak to, private conversations, public conversations, people when they're angry, when they're not happy with the project, when they're absolutely ecstatic with the project. But also you are the least recognised. The most recognised person is going to be the director. The director is the person, they're like, oh, they made these amazing shots, and I was like, I love directors, but there is also such an element, such a big element that comes before they touch the camera. But if you enjoy all of those things I've just said, I think you should definitely go into producing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's tough. It's not an easy job. It's a job that doesn't pay. There's things that you'll learn about deferred fees, which means you don't get paid until some projects are done. That's a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes down the line. You'll learn a lot about finances, you'll learn a lot about taking a gamble, you'll learn a lot about your gut and what that means, and like also what is your compass. but it is one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, and one that I would never give up, and a role that I would just, hands down, would do over and over again. Doesn't matter who doesn't agree or doesn't want me to do it, I would keep doing it. Hashtag pro tip, find a coach who will help you with your career. Hashtag growing up Somali. When you come home from school and you find 15 people which you don't know who they are, but apparently they're your cousin or your auntie. Hashtag thankful to everybody who's always had